I was waiting for knee surgery,
Right.
but so many GPs at the time just kept saying, you only have pain because you're overweight.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Arun Dhir, and I'm so excited to have the lovely Gabby with me. Gabby and I met about 2.5, 3 years ago, perhaps. Is that right, Gabby?
3 years on the 4th of December.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's when
I
you
could.
sliced me open.
Oh my God. I didn't slice you open, but hey, look at that. That's putting it really brutally. But Gabby, I've seen your journey when you first came to see me with your mom. And you had I rarely come across people who are so thoroughly researched. You had researched the procedure that you were going to consider, but more importantly, you had researched me as well. So, like I was, not that there are
I
any
Googled
shady
you
facts
like
about me
crazy.
out
Yeah,
there,
I
but yeah, you
Googled
had
you
done your
like
research.
crazy.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a little bit about, I want you to take us back in time a little bit for the benefit of our audience. Like, what was life like for you before surgery? And, what were the key health by health, I mean physical and mental both, that you were facing? So just share with us, who was that Gabby uh,
Um,
3 years ago?
yeah. So I'd say for me, 3 years ago, I mentally was not in a good place. Food was my go-to, my savior, my everything. Like, oh, I've just finished a meal. What am I going to eat next? And like, I
Mm,
haven't even swallowed the last mouthful, or I've had a bad day. Let me eat.
right.
That's all it was.
So
And then
food was a
physically,
comfort.
yeah, it was just comfort eating. Like, I've had a bad day. Yeah, I can go to food because I'm full, and now I can. Yeah, like I feel better. My tummy's nice and full. But you'd like eat past that full stage because
Mm.
you got to clear your plate.
Yes, that's how
That
we've
is,
all been raised, isn't it?
yep, that is not my life anymore. But yes, yeah. And then um, I've have bad knees, so the heavy weight on the knees was just absolute hell for me.
Mm.
And so I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to walk anywhere if I didn't have to because it was just extra pressure, extra weight. Like, why bother if it's just going to hurt me?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of got to the point that I was like, I'm really not happy in my body. Like, I really don't like where I am.
So what was that point, Gabby? What was that point that actually tipped the balance?
I think the biggest one was I was waiting for knee surgery,
Right.
but so many GPs at the time just kept saying, you only have pain because you're overweight.
Right. Okay.
So after a while, because I injured my knee at 16 and I didn't get it fixed properly until last year, just before I turned 25.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And so I just thought after a while, maybe I'm just crazy. Like, maybe
Mm.
all this pain is fake. They're saying it's just because I'm fat, like it's that. And I just went, no, nah, I know something's wrong.
Mm.
I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to get weight loss surgery, drop the weight. And
Mm.
what a surprise. My knee was still bad.
Right. Right. So there was actually something wrong with your knee, which you obviously got fixed with subsequent surgery
Yeah, I've had 4 surgeries on it now
on the knee.
for it to be
Yeah.
fixed.
And
Yeah.
and how's it now?
I'm 9 weeks post-op my clean out and screw removal from my tibia.
Yes.
And I got the screws removed from both hips as well, which I've had since I was like 12, 13.
Right.
Um, I'm not supposed to be weightlifting or anything yet. I
Mhm.
started weightlifting at 6 weeks because I just recovered
So
so
well.
fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. All right. So just going back, is
Yeah.
it true that food had become the old Gabby is what we are talking about, that food had become your best friend? Because I hear
Yeah.
that very often because food is there for you. Food is all around you, different varieties, different tastes, and you just feel comfortable.
Yeah. It's like how I tell people, like, it's like an addiction, but it's not like alcohol or drugs. You can't just stop it because you need it to live.
Hmm.
So it's even harder to battle because I'm going, I've had a bad day. I just want to come home and eat chocolate and ice cream, or my sister and I got in an argument. I'm going to take a packet of chips to my bedroom and just be angry and eat them.
Yeah.
Like it was my comfort. If something happened, I just went straight to food no matter what it was.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, then moving on, you decide to consider something as drastic as sleeve. And I know you had researched the gastric sleeve surgery extensively. What was your hesitation that this surgery may not work? Or, were there any fears that, your problem was emotional and you were trying to fix it with a physical sort of, solution?
Yep. So the good thing about researching a lot is I found some people who posted their whole journey on like YouTube and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And even they said the mental side, no one can prepare you for. Like that is intense. It is insane. It is like I'm almost 3 years out and that's still a battle. Like the mental side is still a battle. Like, yes, you cut out 80% of my stomach. But that doesn't mean anything to my brain.
It was 70% to be precise, but still,
70 to 80%, whatever. Yeah, but that's what it was. So it was a big change to go, wow, and to consider. I know a lot of people who are new to this go, oh, I'm never going to be able to enjoy that food again. I'm never going to be able to do that. You can. It's just in very small portions. And in moderation. Like I ate a donut yesterday. Right. It was delicious. It took me 10 minutes.
And of course, so you indulge, from what I'm hearing is you indulge from time to time, but you do it very cautiously. Is that right?
Yeah, but because
very mindfully.
Because I work out so much.
Yeah.
Having one donut, maybe, every 6 to 8 weeks, even if that, is not going to do anything to my body. Like that calorie intake with how much I burn is not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So but I also prefer protein.
Yeah. So I'll come to that in a moment. But I think just going back to what were your main hesitations or fears before committing to surgery? Was there any hesitation that you had, or you just knew that this is?
My hesitation was, I've had surgeries before, but it's been on my limbs. So if something goes wrong, like you can live without a leg. Like that sounds weird, but
pretty extreme. But yeah.
Whereas this is an organ. This is like you're messing around in the whole liver and stomach, and like that's scary because if something goes wrong there, that can be lifelong complications and issues, and that scared me so much. Even though I knew I was in good hands because I researched you like crazy, it's still terrifying.
To
have someone
when it's happening. So hesitation wise, you were scared of, obviously, if something goes wrong, obviously you research more about it. But I think sometimes, this internet research can work the other way. It can create a lot of anxiety in the minds of some people. And I get women more so than men who are really anxious because they have researched so much.
I think if you go too much into it, that's not it. I actually spoke to someone who had it and they were only about 6 months out. And I was like, oh, what was it actually like? Like what was recovery? And they warned me about the gas pain where it sits all in your shoulders and collarbones and stuff. And I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. That was bad. But I was like,
okay.
They told me a heat pack and walk, best thing ever. Okay. But I was also hesitant to that. Spending this amount of money and doing this surgery, what if I get like severe reflux? What if I get a hernia? What if I don't lose the weight?
Yeah.
But then I was like, what if I don't do it? And then I just keep getting bigger.
Yeah, it was like, cost versus benefit, what are you getting, risk and all that. Yeah, got it. So I think the main takeaway from here is that you research, but if that research is creating anxiety in you, well, you're going too much into it then, so you got to back off a little bit because sometimes I've seen people, they throw themselves so much into research that they're confused at the end of it, you know.
Yeah.
So research should not lead to confusion. That's what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
I think it's the same with any surgery. Like I've researched most of mine, and like
Yeah.
I'm pretty used to it now that my surgeons are pretty full on honest of what can happen.
Mm.
But at the same time, I think if you go too far into it, you find all those tiny little, it happens to 0.5%, it happens to, and it's something so rare and so crazy that I'm like, the likelihood of that actually happening isn't. So my advice to people is research your surgeon, have an understanding of the procedure, but talk to someone who's actually gone through it.
Oh, that's so fantastic. That's so useful,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, because you have to talk to a real person who's gone through it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's critical. Awesome. So, remind me, when did you have your surgery, Gabby? What date?
4/12/2018.
Oh, 2018. Wow. Gee, it's almost coming up to, yeah, clearly, you know, 3 years. Beautiful. So, what, if I were to ask you, how heavy were you when you had your surgery, when you actually checked in or for the procedure?
For the procedure, 110.6.
Okay.
I
Okay.
believe, but my heaviest weight before pre-op was 114.4.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So after surgery, was there anything that you actually, and I'm more interested, any strategies that you used? Because I know you've had a few surgeries, you had plastic surgery and all of that. What was your main one or two strategies, physical and mental? That's what I want to know from you that you use, that you attribute to your success.
Physical, the first few days when it's like fluids and just hydrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, water will not cut it. You
No.
need hydrolyte, you need electrolytes, you need something
Sure.
that's going to still give you energy. You can't just go, I'm going to have plain water. Like that's not going to help your body recover. Like you've done something massive.
Yes.
For me personally, a lot of ice cold drinks.
Ice worked for you. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm still to this day. Has to be ice cold to go down.
Oh, okay. All
or
right.
like a hot drink. Like
Okay, so it has to be either one or the other. It can't be just a normal room
it can't
temperature.
be room temperature. I can't be like,
Got it.
tap water
No. Okay.
doesn't go down. And
Got
I'm like,
it.
no. And then mentally, one of my biggest pet peeves I have with some people who get the surgery is they don't tell anyone they've had it.
Yeah.
Because you need a support system, because this journey is honestly like you're trying to beat an addiction. But like I said before, you can't stop eating. You have to eat to live. You can't just cut it out.
Yeah.
But then you also need to relearn food all over again.
Wow. And
And
how
it's
did
no
you do
longer
that, Gabby? How did you do that? Did you have a support group or a psychologist, or how did you do it?
My dad was my biggest supporter.
Right.
He's also the one that paid for the surgery. So
of course. He's
go
the sponsor
Dad.
and supporter.
Yeah, my sponsor.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, my family was super supportive. You guys answered any questions I had. Like I was like, what about this? Some support groups are good. Some can be very bad. It's like a competition sometimes of I can only eat this amount. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I eat a lot now because I have to. But yeah, it's very, I learned how important protein is, especially during recovery. And recovery from any surgery, if you up your protein, like
yes,
the recovery rate's faster.
Yes.
The importance of nutritious food.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I still enjoy donuts. Yeah, they're great. But it doesn't do anything for me apart from satisfy that craving.
Yeah, that's right.
But then it's, you have to have a support system. I think a lot of people should see a psychologist because it can get very crazy. I'm thankful I shared my journey from the beginning online. Like I never hid the facts. So
Mm.
I found that easier because I didn't feel like I was hiding a part of me.
Mm.
Because,
You
like, yeah,
were, and what I felt is that, by sharing your journey, you were putting a peg in the sand of your authenticity. That, this is who I am. And when we do that, I feel there is research around it to prove that you stand more committed to your goal for yourself.
yeah, it
You're
felt
less
like,
likely to go back.
yeah, it keeps me accountable still to this day to go, yeah, this is what I had done, but I
Yeah.
refuse to go back to how I was.
Yes. 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 You
And
stand more
that's why,
committed.
yeah, before and after pictures, the best thing you'll ever do.
Wow. I know, and we are going to be putting some of your before and after pictures, but tell us, how much do you weigh today?
As of today, I sit anywhere between 65 and 66 kg.
Wow. And you've maintained this weight for now what? How
Um,
long?
so this weight now, only about 6 months,
Uh-huh.
and that is from weightlifting and building muscle mass. So I've filled out my legs a lot more.
Yes.
Um, I've still got my 4 pack of abs and everything coming through.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, built
Awesome.
my arms up a bit more,
Uh-huh.
but I did become underweight.
At one point. Yeah,
Yeah,
you had
I hit
swung the pendulum
56.
the other side.
Yeah, 56 kg.
Ah,
And
yeah.
that was not good. That was
None.
all the bones sticking out, the hair coming out.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
So
right.
I decided to gain, but in a healthy way and
In a
build it
healthy
as
way.
muscle
Good on
mass.
you. Good on you. Good on
Yeah.
you, Gabby. So, can I ask you what advice you might want to give to that old Gabby now, or anybody in that situation who's kind of hesitating, thinking, what should I do to make this decision? Is it for me? Are there risks? Because the same questions go for so many other people as well who are
Yeah.
hesitating and they can't lead the life that you are living now, life of energy, fulfillment, and on your purpose. So, what advice would you want to give to someone like that?
Um, Research your surgeons, the operations you want, because bypass and sleeve have very different, I want to say issues, but
Yeah.
different ways of how you have to handle
Yes.
things. Um, I find a lot of people try to just go, who's the cheapest in the area?
Mm, 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 mm.
Cheap isn't always good. I understand people have, budgets. Like I said, my dad paid for mine,
Sure.
but you got to find one who's got like a team as well. Like you came with a dietitian and everything like that. A lot of them don't,
Mm, right.
which I'm like, that's questionable. That shouldn't
Mm,
be
mm, mm,
a
mm,
thing.
mm.
Do it. It's scary, but it's the best thing you'll ever do. But you have to be committed to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't just do it and hope it does it for you.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you do have that honeymoon period
Yes. That's right.
that no matter what you eat, you will lose weight to a certain
Mm,
extent.
yes. 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 Yes.
But then if you're eating, bad foods,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll lose weight, but you're also going to lose a significant amount of muscle mass.
Yeah. That's
Like,
true.
cool, you're going to be skinny, but you're still going to be unhealthy.
Yeah.
The whole
That's
point
right.
of the surgery is to be healthy.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I often say this that, don't wait for your feelings to change to take action.
Yep.
Take the action and your feelings will change. Like I almost feel I'm talking to a totally different person to you than what I was talking to. I know you always brought in that attitude of energy and, a smile on your face all the time. But I think internally, when you shift internally, everybody around you can start to perceive that change in your
Yeah.
personality.
Like, since getting the sleeve and becoming more healthy, more into fitness, I've actually drifted away from quite a few friends
Yeah, that's so powerful.
because my goals and pathway just didn't align with them anymore.
Yes.
Like, I was like, I'm not into this whole, oh, let's eat junk food and drink all the time. I don't want to do this, but continue to complain about everything. Like, I'm like,
Mm,
just go do it.
yeah.
Like, it's scary, but do it. Like,
Good on you, Gabby, for recognizing that, because a lot of us, we just go through life mindlessly, just doing it, just keep doing the same thing over and over
yeah.
again.
But this
So,
surgery has changed like everything because I took that leap
yeah.
and like relearned food, everything like that. Even personal life, everything, like when it comes to dating and stuff, I'm so much more strict with boundaries
Wow.
because I feel like I decided to respect my body more. Like I'm not feeding it with bad foods.
Mm. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, here's my boundary. This is what's happening. Even with work, like everything, I'm like, no, I won't accept that. This is my standard, nothing
Awesome.
less. And
Yeah.
it's been good. Like,
You have raised your standards, Gabby. That's all I can say. You've just
yep.
raised your standards. So tell me a last thing. How can people follow you, Gabby? What is like if somebody wants to connect with you or derive inspiration from your journey, where do they find you?
Instagram is my best one.
Ah, okay. So tell us what is the Instagram address that you use?
So it's Gabby Wilson
Uh-huh.
181.
181. Beautiful. We will put it in the show notes for people to have a look at it. Gabby, you are so inspirational. We're going to put some of your photos after this interview. But I tell you, it's always a delight seeing someone like the youth. When the youth is changing, you are the future of this planet, And I
Yeah,
think if you have the courage to take this leap, I think for your own betterment, because when we become better, we actually make a better society, a better country, and a better nation and a better world. So
definitely.
good on you, Gabby. Thank you so much for your time. You take
That's
care,
okay.
and it was lovely speaking to you.
You too.